Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino. We're chatting with David Cohen today, founder of Equation Arts. David is a creative startup veteran experienced in fundraising, business planning, market strategy, product launches, pricing, brand creation, and he's a specialist in personal branding. David, thank you for being with us today.
I'm so glad to be here.
But you also call yourself a brand therapist.
That's right, yes.
Now tell us what a brand therapist is.
Well, first off, it's a term I didn't create. It actually came from one of my clients.
Oh.
My process when I'm working one-on-one with someone on their individual brand is one that gets in fairly probing, fairly deep. We really try to take off all the armor. Understand what the person's values are, some of the things that they want to be, some of the things they don't want to be, how they want to be understood. And so getting into some of that process, there's really no way around, if you're going to do it well, doing a deep exploration. And so we were mid-process asking some question, one of my zingers that I throw at somebody. And he said, "You know what you are, David? You're a brand therapist." And I said, "Oh, I'm going to use that."
So why should I care about my personal brand? And isn't that just a new buzzword, personal branding?
Well, it's certainly a term that has grown in popularity, but it's not new, and it's as old as having a reputation. And absolutely you should be concerned about it. The world is changing, and it's been changing for a while. One of the big drivers of that change is the internet. And what the internet does is it brings together two dynamics that in the past were really separate. And that is this clustering sort of tendency that, sort of the classic story is you go to Manhattan and there's the garment district. And then there's the street with all the music shops and the street with all the camera stores. I think it's 47th Street. Well, why did they do that? They went there because that was where the traffic was. That's what's going on with the internet. So you go where the traffic is, you find keywords, you get, what's the search engine going to have to find you. But now you're in there with everyone else who's using your same keywords, everyone else who's doing what you're doing. And the internet's reach, Google's reach is so big that it's gathering people from everywhere. So if you're going to stand out and then differentiate, you've been put into the people that you look the most alike. So now you've really got to figure out what's going to make you stand out and stand apart. So if you want to be noticed and not looked over, you've absolutely got to think about your personal.
Personal branding means that I have to be perfect all the time.
No. In fact, it's a funny thing about the internet. As automated as the tools get, we want human. We want people to be real. It's a trust thing, I think. It's a familiarity. The internet can, at its worst, be very depersonalizing. We have bots running in the background doing things. People get very angry at, when they put something in a search engine and they land on a page that was built automatically with no real content and there's no value provided. But they respond well when someone is actually putting value into every message they put out.
How is technology changing the game? You just mentioned something about the internet.
Yeah.
And,
well, it does a few things. I think one of the great things to sort of learn a quick lesson about what's changed and what's different is just look at a page on Amazon or any really popular shopping site, and you're going to get reviews. You're going to get recommendations. You're going to get reviews of the reviewers. You're going to get reviews of the sellers in the marketplace that's doing the third-party and used sales. You're getting a fantastic volume of information. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, first off, it sets our expectations really high for what we should get for free. I'm shopping for, a thermos that's going to cost me $19 in the end. And I expect hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of information, particularly what it would have taken to gather that 20 years ago. So I get that for nothing. I get that just for showing up. And now I'm also expected that thermos that I'm going to buy rates well in that world. So I'm going to look at quality of manufacture. I'm going to look at other users' experiences. My opportunity to touch reputation and hearsay is just so enabled by all of this. So now we move out of that retail environment. Now we're looking for someone to help us with a service. We're looking for a consultant or a coach, someone to just fix something in our home. What do we want to have? We want that same degree of information that we got. You know, this is a more important purchase. This is help me with my life or fix something in my house. You know, it's going to cost a lot more than that $19 thermos. Don't you think we expect as much information? Don't, you know, so the tools are catching up with this, and everybody's reputation. I mean, sites like Angie's List and Kudzu are built on, you know, talking about people's reputation. All the restaurant review sites. It's spilling over into every purchase, one at a time. B2B, you know, consultant to coach and everything in between. We expect information. And it's not going to get less, it's only going to get more, and we're just going to get more sophisticated about how we filter it.
Interesting. So tell me, how can I learn more about this, David?
Well, you know, one of the things is I'm a big, you know, read some books. If you can take the time. I like audiobooks myself. Those will give you some practical ideas about marketing and branding and the internet in general. But to speed up the process, you know, seek out expertise. I happen to have a teleseminar class that I offer, which is all about helping people understand the personal branding fundamentals. You know, there's a lot of components that have gone into how do you make a big consumer brand work. Many of them are quite applicable to how do you make your personal brand work. And a big part of it is focus. It's getting clarity. But it's going through a process to get a handle on your message. Job one, though, you got to get aware. You know, you can't take this on if you're not aware of what the feedback is. You know, have you ever been to hear a church choir sing or gone to a recital, and there's the chorus, and there's that one person who's just not in harmony with everyone else. And why aren't they harmonizing? It's because they're not listening. So if you're going to get engaged in your personal brand, you know, part of this process is getting engaged in listening. So we talk about in my class, how do you look at this problem of listening? What are you listening for? You look at the platform and foundation that you're building. I have my acronyms. We go into the 3 R's of branding and the 3 C's of communication. I like to find things that give people a handle so that they can apply these ideas to their own message. But it's a process, and like I say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you have to think about approaching this with thought, intention, and consistency. And that's also part of what we talk about.
David, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure, absolutely.
And thank you for being with us. This is Diane Bogino signing off until next time.